Lessons from Solomon. King Solomon, son of David, is widely known for his wisdom, wealth, and the construction of the first temple in Jerusalem. His reign, marked by both triumph and failure, offers timeless lessons for believers. These lessons serve as powerful reminders of how to live in alignment with God's will while cautioning against the pitfalls of excess and disobedience. Wisdom above all else. Solomon's wisdom is perhaps his most defining feature. When God appeared to him in a dream and offered him anything he desired, Solomon asked for wisdom to lead his people. His choice demonstrated humility and a focus on service rather than personal gain. True wisdom seeks the good of others, not personal advantage. We are reminded to prioritize spiritual wisdom over worldly riches. Give me an understanding heart so that I can govern your people well and know the difference between right and wrong. First Book of Kings chapter 3 verse 9. The importance of discernment. Solomon's ability to discern right from wrong was tested in the famous story of the two women claiming the same baby. First Book of Kings chapter 3 verse 16 to 28. His decision not only showcased his wisdom but also his ability to discern deeper truths in complicated situations. Discernment helps us navigate life's complexities with God's guidance. It is essential for making decisions that honor God. All Israel heard of the judgment which the king had made. And they feared the king, for they saw that the wisdom of God was in him to administer justice. First Book of Kings chapter 3 verse 28. The dangers of excess and idolatry. Despite his wisdom, Solomon eventually fell into the trap of excess, particularly through his accumulation of wealth, horses, and foreign wives, which led him into idolatry. First Book of Kings chapter 11 verse 1 to 6. His failure to heed God's warnings led to a divided kingdom. Even the wisest can fall when they let their guard down. It's a reminder to stay vigilant and humble before God, avoiding idolatry and the seduction of worldly success. For when Solomon was old, his wives turned away his heart after other gods. And his heart was not loyal to the Lord his God, as was the heart of his father David. First Book of Kings chapter 11 verse 4. The value of building for God's glory. Solomon is also remembered for constructing the magnificent temple in Jerusalem, a dwelling place for the Lord. First Book of Kings chapter 6. His dedication to the temple demonstrated his desire to honor God with his resources and talents. We are called to use our gifts to build up God's kingdom and bring him glory, much like Solomon used his resources to build the temple. Then the word of the Lord came to Solomon, saying, "Concerning this temple which you are building, if you walk in my statutes, then I will perform my word with you." First Book of Kings, chapter verse 11 and 12. The power of prayer and dedication. At the dedication of the temple, Solomon offered a powerful prayer, asking God to hear the prayers of his people when they turned toward the temple. First Book of Kings chapter 8 verse 22 to 53. His prayer reflected his understanding of human frailty and the need for divine intervention. Prayer is a powerful tool to align ourselves with God's will. Solomon's dedication highlights the importance of intercession and seeking God's guidance. May your eyes be open toward this temple night and day, and may you hear the supplication of your servant and of your people Israel. First Book of Kings chapter 8 verse 29 and 30. The tragedy of compromise. Despite his early devotion, Solomon's later years were marked by compromise. He allowed the worship of foreign gods, leading to the spiritual decline of Israel. First Book of Kings chapter 11 verse 9 to 13. His reign ended with God's judgment on the kingdom. Compromise can lead to spiritual destruction, even for those who have once been close to God. Staying true to God's commands is essential for long-term faithfulness. The Lord became angry with Solomon because his heart had turned away from the Lord, the God of Israel. First Book of Kings chapter 11 verse 9.